Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African-American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. Steve Bannon says Trump will run again and win in 2028. Now, I know you don't want to hear that. You're already dealing with enough, just dealing with the first 2 months of this second administration. But nonetheless, you got to hear what Steve Bannon says, and you got to take it serious. Despite the 22nd Amendment, which says he cannot run again, they are cooking something up, and we need to be cooking just as well. And every time you feel like, hey, I can't deal with any more of this, we cannot defeat these people, you need to play this clip that I'm getting ready to share with you. As a matter of fact, let's look at it now.
I'm a firm believer that President Trump will run and win again in 2028. So I've already endorsed President Trump. A man like this comes along once every century if we're lucky. We've got him now. He's on fire, and I'm a huge supporter. Want to see him again in 2028.
So like I already said, the 22nd Amendment says that no president can be elected the third time. So apparently, they're going to try and get the 22nd Amendment changed. In order to get it amended, they got to have 2/3 vote of the whole Congress, both the House and the Senate, and then it must be ratified. That amendment must be ratified by 3/4 of the states, and they simply don't have that vote. However, SCOTUS, and I'm sure that's what they're thinking about, with 6 conservative members on the court, they're going to try to get SCOTUS to change the 22nd Amendment by simply reinterpreting it. SCOTUS cannot amend the Constitution, but SCOTUS can reinterpret provisions of the Constitution like SCOTUS does other amendments or parts of the Constitution. All right, now, let's go back to Bannon.
Chris, we just won one of the biggest sweeping victories. We're in the middle of a 1932 type realignment if we can continue on and continue to have populist policies, populist nationalist policies. We have African American men coming to our side. We have Hispanics coming to our side. So no, we're huge believers in democracy.
Okay, let me say a couple of things right there. All right, so first, you heard him say out of his own mouth that Trump will run again in 2028. And he will win, and he's already endorsing him. Now, Steve Bannon is a shrewd person, okay? Very cunning. He could be doing all of this, saying these things just to get folks riled up, distracted, chaotic, whatever. But you would be crazy, we would be crazy to disregard what he's saying because he's not the only one saying it. Even Trump is teasing people. Again, it could be just to distract folks. But I know a House of Representative member, Andy Ogles, has already filed a bill for that purpose. So we know that chatter is out there, and we better not dismiss it. And most importantly, let's use it for our inspiration and motivation to get those 17 or so million African-American people who didn't vote. This should be our motivation to get them out to vote. Now, you also heard him falsely claim that African-American men are coming to their side. That is false. Now, more African-American men in 2024 went to Trump than in 2016, right? And they helped him win, no question. But most African-American men, and certainly most African-American women, did not vote for Trump, and I don't believe ever will. But as I said so many times, they don't need the big numbers. They need just enough. Just enough. And did you hear him boast about the fact that the Republican Party, the GOP, MAGA, may be experiencing the beginning of a 1932 realignment, like back during the Great Depression and FDR, when basically the Democrats became the party to rule and to control by building this populist movement because of the New Deal. So he's hoping that that's what's going on. Well, it's our job to disrupt that, to interrupt that, to stop that. And I don't believe that's what's going on anyway. I really don't believe that because, again, most African Americans did not support Trump in 2016, 2020, nor in 2024. So I don't think this is this great realignment, this great MAGA populist movement that he's hoping will happen. I don't believe that at all. All right, so there's one more little small clip. I want you to hear this because it says a lot. Okay? Here we go.
We know how to get votes out. We know how to get low propensity, low information voters out to support the president's policies.
All right, so there he calls their voters low propensity, low information voters. He is including African American men in that crowd. So if I was an African American man who voted for Trump, I would be insulted. I would be insulted that you're calling me low propensity and low information. I would be insulted that, these people, these MAGA people think so lowly of us as African-American men. If I was an African-American male Trump voter, which will never happen on this side of the world, okay? Because I don't believe in supporting blatantly white supremacist people who are trying to take us back to the cotton fields of Jim Crow, who are trying to wipe us basically out of the American consciousness. No. I read today that they even had gotten rid of Jackie Robinson. The last I heard about that was they changed course and put Jackie Robinson back where he belonged there in the military's records, but they've been trying to get rid of us, our contributions and so on. So I would never ever be a MAGA voter. But those who are, it seems to me, they should be saying, now, hold on a moment. I'm not low information. I'm just trying to send the Democrats a message. I mean, that's what they be saying. I'm just trying to send the Democrats a message that I'm tired of you taking us for granted, give us reparations and so on. Because there's no upside in them supporting Trump. He's done nothing for them and has promised to do nothing for them. And everything he has done so far has been anti-black. Let's be honest. So I would be very offended with the mastermind of the MAGA movement calling me low information if I were an African-American male MAGA voter. But they don't seem to care. They don't seem to care. Nevertheless, the point is, I think Steve Bannon is overplaying his hand. But I love it when he says these things because it's motivation. It's inspiration. He's tilting his hand. He's not playing his cards close to his vest. He's letting us know what he thinks of us. Because he thinks this way not only of the Trump voters, African-American male voters, he thinks that way of all African Americans. We're low information people, low propensity. So I love it when he says these things, and that's why I'm bringing it to you. And when you feel like, you know what, I don't want to really be involved, I'm tired, the last election took so much out of me, put this clip on and listen to him talk about how they intend to run Trump again despite the 22nd Amendment. And they know how to get out the vote, low information, low propensity voters. And so therefore, he's predicting a victory in 2028. Well, we got a few tricks of our own, right? We got the 2026 midterm. And we need to flip that. We need to flip Congress. And we can slow all that up. We can slow every bit of that up, whatever they got planned. Now, Chris Como, who conducted the interview, as you saw, he did ask Bannon whether or not they were planning a revolution or an insurrection or something like that. And you heard Bannon say, well, no, we are big proponents and supporters of democracy. What? All the anti-democratic stuff that's coming out of MAGA right now? With MAGA basically defying court orders, taking us further and further and further closer to a constitutional crisis, closer and closer to an autocracy or an authoritarian type government, closer to fascism. Come on. And then even if he's serious about being pro-democratic, you got the techno bros over there who are trying to establish a technocracy or an oligarchy or a combination of the both. So where does he get off talking about they are pro-democracy? I don't see it. We must get the black vote out so that we can stop Trump. Now listen to me. The Democratic Party, which I'm not a part of, but I have supported over the past several decades, I have supported the Democratic Party, is nowhere near perfect. In fact, I'm getting ready to release a video and I'm going to lay out all the issues I have with the Democratic Party. You don't want to miss that video. You don't want to miss that. I'm going to tell you all that I feel about the Democratic Party, and it's not good. Okay? So anyway, 2028 is on the minds of MAGA, and they are gearing up to keep Trump in office for that time period. They are gearing up to keep their guy. Someone, Steve Bannon, said it comes once in 100 years. And he's on fire, and they intend to keep him in office. Well, I don't know what Steve Bannon think we're going to be doing. I don't know if he think we're going to be bending over and letting him kick us in our backside. No, we will not, Mr. Bannon. So don't overplay your hand. Anyway, I'm Reverend and Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett. Thank you for watching this video. And no matter what they say, stay woke.